In 1987, the murder of socialite Lita McClinton Sullivan shocked the affluent Atlanta suburb of Buckhead, Georgia. The Tony neighborhood, with its well-kept mansions and excellent schools, was not the kind of place where women were gunned down in cold blood in broad daylight. But that's exactly what happened when she opened the door to someone posing as a flower delivery man. Now, Ina Devil went down to Georgia. Race, power, privilege, and the murder of Lita McClinton, out August 6 from Pegasus Crime. Author and investigative journalist Deb Miller Landau is taking readers through the life and death of McClinton Sullivan, as well as the winding road to bringing her killer to justice. Below, in an exclusive excerpt shared with People, experience the moment she went to meet up with the hitman who went to jail for her murder. January 2023. I'm sitting in a rented Pacifica minivan in a desolate parking lot at City Lake Park in Albemarle, North Carolina, waiting to meet a man recently released from prison for orchestrating a murder. 4 decades, newspaper headlines across the country called him the Hitman. Hitman found, suspected hitman charged in killing of Buckhead socialite, hitman released. I spent months hunting him down before he finally called me. While it would be refreshing to have the opportunity to meet with someone that is all about learning the truth and printing it, he said, I'm not sure if you have the resources to do the things that I would require of you. I had looked over my shoulder in a fit of nonsensical panic. Is anyone seeing this? But it was an opening, even though I had no idea what he was talking about. I first wrote a retrospective about the brutal 1987 murder of Lita McClinton Sullivan for Atlanta magazine in 2004. It was a case that shook the city, the country, and later the world. A black socialite from a politically powerful Atlanta family, gunned down in broad daylight in Buckhead, the most upscale, whitest neighborhood in Atlanta. For a decade, the case went cold, unnervingly frigid. It became fodder for newspapers and magazines, was featured on television shows like Dominic Dunn's Power, Privilege, and Justice, CBS's 48 Hours, Extra, FBI, Most Wanted, and many others. Journalists like me followed it for years. Lawyers didn't sleep, cops took it to their graves, and Lita's family pushed and bent till they almost broke. So here I am, rubbing crusty bits of sleep from the tender crannies of my eyeballs, in a rented minivan in a tiny town in the middle of nowhere, trying to talk to a hitman. He knows I'm coming, but he's ghosted me for the past couple of weeks, and now I fear I've made the trip for nothing. I've driven all around town, past the junkyards with broken cars and rusted washing machines, past the home of Kelly Pickla sign in the courthouse square celebrating the American Idol contestant who escaped this town, past the colonial homes, deserted textile mills, and unabashed cemeteries. On the side of the road. And I've done some Googling. This little agricultural town about an hour east of Charlotte grew up around the production and manufacturing of cotton. 4 decades, everyone worked at the mill, bagging sacks of raw cotton, spinning fiber into yarn, attaching toes to socks at the hosiery mills. Since the textile mills closed in the 1980s, the town has grappled to redefine itself. A lot of families here struggle to make ends meet. If North Carolina is the rough shape of a revolver pointing west, Albemarle is just north of the trigger. I check my phone again. Still no text from the hitman. I feel a mix of relief and disappointment. I'm not entirely sure what I'm hoping he'll tell me, other than his side of the story.